even though the critics towards Eritrea is quite tough, they compare you right now in the Swedish media with North Korea, they take to ship, etc. What is your answer?
It again, who is saying this is the question, because it's being an obsession for the CIA and CIA agents who have all the websites. They are bombarding people with disinformation about so many things. I mean, they may at will compare a reality here with any other reality. Why are they doing it, and what do they mean by what they are saying? It's you can't tell me who is the source of this accusation, for example. Who's saying it? Who says it, and you know better?
No, I just read it in media.
It's the media. The media, who is controlling the media? You have more than 200, 300 websites for the CIA operating and focusing on Eritrea.
I think, to be honest, I think it can be, if people see a country without elections, a journalist in prison without trial, they can do that kind of conclusions quite easy, I think.
Why don't they do it on Saudi, for example? A very simple question. Why don't you do it on Kuwait, where you have 4 types of citizenships there? Why are you not doing it on Jordan? I mean, it's very the very simple thing. If you think you are supreme in your judgment, and you have standards for judgment, I mean, you can't make different judgments at the same time about so many things. Why don't you do it in China, for example? The Chinese are not Christians. They are not even Muslims. They are not even Jews. And what do you mean by talking about religious rights anywhere? I mean, it's now obvious that these are established policies of intelligence agencies, and this is what is coming through journalism. You may not be directly hired by one of these groups. You may not be paid by them, but whenever you want to engage in journalism, they will bombard you with information and disinformation so that you finally come to ask these very simple questions. You come from Sweden, you may be one of the political groups there who have their own ideas about democracy, but when you want to cover a story, you cover a story based on information provided to you directly or indirectly by these agencies. And what you ask about these matters is not consistent in terms of your questions don't address global issues. And as I said, I don't have any qualms about what the Saudi system is about. It's for them to decide on their. But here we have people who think they have standards. They set the standards, they set the rules, and ask very simple questions. Why don't you ask these very simple questions to people whom you think are providing you the money? It's not media to me. It has nothing to do with freedoms or even press. I mean, do you talk about the 10,000 prisoners in Israel? You don't talk about that. Never. You will never even raise a voice on this issue, on any media. Not at all. But those prisoners are there. Whether you justify that as acts of terror geared towards Israel, your prisoners elsewhere, and no one talks about them. Why are you so obsessed about talking of this matter? I think it's the strength of this society, the strength of this government, and their failure and frustration to achieve their goals that has led to this kind of disinformation. I mean, I would ask a very simple question. How would you relate Eritrea to North Korea? Can you explain to me? I mean, what are the grounds for making comparison? You don't even know. You cannot explain it except the fact that...
With respect, I think the Swedish viewers are more interested of your answer rather than my answers.
So, but again, I mean, you tell me, how is it that they compare Korea with Eritrea?
Again,
How can you compare the situation here and in Saudi?
It's a good question, yes.
Yeah, but I ask you because you come with this assumption. You're telling me someone said your reality is defined in this and that.
Swedish media wrote
The Swedish media is no more. I mean, there is Swedish media. The Swedish media is, to me, at least an extension, minimum to say. It's an extension of what's happening in Washington. I've explained this and.
هجمت تسترجع انت هبو هو اسمع